Welcome back, everyone, as we continue with the MSG 150 at home presented by Chase. As always, great to have you with us, Bill Pito, along with Alan Hahn and Steve Alacette. And we say hello to Devils Executive VP and Interim GM Tom Fitzgerald. Tom, great to see you. We really appreciate you joining us.
Thanks, Bill. I'm glad to be here.
So what's it like in the front office and having such a vital role during such an uncertain time?
It's been good. Our leadership group with HBSC has been fantastic in leading our group and then passing the torch for us to lead our groups internally. For me, the hockey ops department, whether it's scouting, whether it's development, whether it's our first floor hockey ops department there. So it's been good. It's been really like a month and a half now. Is that where we're at? It's actually gone by pretty fast for me personally, because now we're really getting busy with the potential of the draft right around the corner. We're knee deep into that right now and just trying to figure out how we go about our list building.
Tom, you've had this amazing life in hockey, and you've been able to pass that on to your boys. You've got 4 kids, Ryan and Casey, drafted into the NHL, playing in the American Hockey League. They both played at BC together. I've got a son in hockey, so does Alan. I'm keeping my guy ready by just shooting tennis balls at him, and I think Alan just lays the body on his son in the hallways. What do you do with your kids during the pandemic?
Well, I definitely don't have an indoor basketball court, that's for sure.
That's where I dumped on them.
That looks like a lot of fun. You know what? They were passionate about hockey and sports in general. I mean, they played every sport from soccer to lacrosse to baseball, and then basketball. They were just athletes growing up, and I think obviously my wife and I had a lot to do with that by putting, whether it's a baseball in their hand, a basketball, a hockey stick, and just watching them mature as I get older. And like you said, I have 4. They're not all the same, and their passions aren't the same. They're all different, which is incredible. Having them all home right now has been an eye opener for me, where you miss so much time when you're, whether I was playing or whether I was scouting or management or traveling, and their schedules as well. And you realize how much you actually miss and how quickly they grow up. So take advantage of it would be my advice. You guys have young kids. But it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience. I mean, eating dinner at night every night has been something over a decade. I can't remember the last time we all sat and ate for 3 straight days. But it's been great. They're doing well. They're just, they're just trying to figure out their careers as they go along. And no, it's all good. It's all good.
My guy just got his Mars blade, so I warned the neighbors already that the neighborhood's not going to be the same with him tooling around on those things on the street, just some type of skating. But, as we think about these experiences for them that early in their life, and then obviously, Tom, for you, through a long playing career and experience as an assistant coach, experience as an assistant GM, how does all of that, when you put it all together, prepare you for this job here with the Devils?
Well, I had a great mentor in Ray Shero. I was with Ray for a long time. And then the people, the branches that grew off of Ray, Chuck Fletcher, Jason Botterill, Bill Guerin, it's a really good group of people that we challenged each other as we grew up, I guess, in the Penguins organization, and now moving on to New Jersey. And but I think the greatest part of our team, and with Ray and my current team, for me, is we challenge each other, and that's the only way to get better. And I encourage that with my group now. We're putting together like I said, we're talking draft strategy right now, not strategy, but just list building. And I want guys pounding the table for their guys. I want high end debates. So I think that's the only way to get better. It's a little different upstairs, but I really, really enjoy when you draft a kid and you develop them and you watch them, take that next step into the National Hockey League, maybe score his first NHL goal. It's like watching your son, achieve his goals. So that's been very fulfilling for me. And now I'm sitting in this seat and acting like I'm the general manager, because I'm doing all the things general managers do right now and leading a group to get back to where we need to be.
Coleman, Green, Vatanen, Simmons, a lot of big moves before the deadline, Tom. It was the first time you had both hands on the wheel yourself. Now, everybody was talking about the haul that you got. Did you feel like you had to get a little bit more just to make a mark? Or does the past that you have just speak for itself?
No, you know what? Those things just happen, to be honest with you. great dialogue with a lot of these managers, and you could tell the managers that were in need of certain things, and you know, it was stressful at a stressful time. But you know what? I thought I didn't know how I would react being in that seat. It consumed me from the end of January on. Phones just started ringing. But as you get closer, you knew who your dance partners were going to be, and you just tried to make the best deals possible. And I think I did that, and help put this organization in a better place right now with young talent coming in and potential of first round picks.
Yeah, and you know, with this organization, the fortune, at least in the lottery of the last couple of years, you get Nico here, you got Jack Hughes, you've got, you know, 2 building block type pieces at number 1 overall. So when you have players like that, do you build around them? Do you build with them? How do you handle having 2 number 1 overall picks on your roster, and how do you build with them?
Well, I mean, great question. We are very fortunate to be lucky enough to win the lottery and to select 2 great hockey players and great people. I'd like to think someday we will have the best 1-2 centers up the middle of the ice here in the next 4, 5, 6 years. So Devil fans should be really excited about what they have in the center position, that's for sure.
You know, Tom, the term good guy is used pretty loosely when we're describing former teammates, but I'm going to use great guy to describe Alain Nasreddine. I played with him, and the funny thing about our relationship was, quick story, I lived with Rafi Torres his first year. He was a 5th overall pick. He wasn't developing as well as Naz wanted him to, so he says, Valley, he's living with me next year. I'm going to get this kid to the show. Sure enough, Rafi Torres went on and had a 10-year career, but I think it speaks to, you want your coaches to really care about your players. Well, Naz was like that as a player himself. I can easily see why he's a head coach in the NHL right now. What was your assessment this year?
I thought he served himself extremely well, especially under the circumstances of, you know, getting a phone call on December 2nd or whatever it was to meet Ray and myself. And this is what was going on. And we want to know if you want to take the steering wheel here from here on in. And obviously with mixed emotions, because John was is his mentor, real good friend, taught Naz a lot. So I'm sure it was an emotional time for him. I've been there, and I know how he feels when it comes to that stuff. But he's a caring person. Naz is he's one of those guys that, you know, when I talked about earlier, being part of a team and a culture that everybody has a voice, and everybody, you know, if you believe in something, fight for it and challenge it. Naz is a person who stands up for his beliefs, and he challenges. He'll debate with you, which is he in particular has helped me grow. That's for sure. He is a caring person. He's been a captain at the American League level. He's a leader for sure. He's, you know what, he's a great young coach, and he's even better. He's a better person. You know, he's a caring person. He's got a great family first man. He's you know him, Steve. Like he's just, I can't say enough good things about Alain Nasreddine.
So, Tom, we have Valley, so that means our goalie situation here on the MSG 150 at home is a little bit murky, as you might expect. But you touched on Mackenzie Blackwood. Where else do you see the situation with the goalie maybe headed down the line here in the future?
Well, you know, that's on the docket right now to discuss. I guess we're trying to compartmentalize the season here. Well, the steps, whether today or tomorrow, we may find out if we're actually going to have an early draft. When can we return to phase 2 of this plan to get back to playing? Where are we going to do that, especially in New Jersey and the Metro teams? You know, can we do that in our home rinks? And then see where the season starts, and then figure out what comes after free agency, you know, re-signing of guys, trades, all those things that happen once the season ends. And we're on top of that right now. No different than any other season in the spring, trying to build up to those critical date times, which we don't know yet what they are, and the league will tell us. But Mackenzie's a good young goaltender, and whether it's with Corey Schneider tandem or somewhere else, I can't comment really on it, because we want to, like I said, I'm compartmentalizing the time of the year that we're at, and, you know, looking forward to, we do see a light at the end of the tunnel about coming back and playing. So that's all we're focused on right now.
All right. I mean, the Long Island in me can't let this interview go without me asking you about your Islanders roots. And a lot of Islanders fans remember you as a huge part of that 93 run. Really big part of those teams. You were coached by Al Arbor back then. You were at the organization for a time when it was after the dynasty, but some pieces were still there. Is there anything you took from that experience that you continue to use today?
Well, I touched on Ray Shero being a mentor. Bill Torrey is a huge part of my career. Drafted me at 17. I wasn't 18 yet. I was just about to turn 18 a month plus later. And, 2 years of college at Providence College, and then you turn pro with the team that drafts you. And I'm with that organization for 5 years. Had some really good runs there at the end, and very proud of that and proud of my heritage with the Islanders. And you never forget your first team, your first love, right? And that for me in the NHL was the New York Islanders. Was fortunate enough, like I said, to be around a person like Bill Torrey and Al Arbor. I learned a lot from Al as far as how the game should be played, the mindset, the mental side of it, things that you never really worried about as a kid. You just played, right? But the ups and downs and staying even keel was a famous line of his. And, there's going to be so many ups and downs in this game. It's just the guys who can stay even keel, the guys who will get ahead. Then Bill went to start up the Florida Panthers and drafted me in the expansion draft. So reality is my 12 years of my professional career were around Bill Torrey. Because of my 5 years in Florida as well. So those memories are great. And, like I said, the team that drafts is always a special team. Looking back, I've had probably better success in other cities. But, when I look back at my Islander days, I'm very proud of putting that jersey on, especially with being drafted in the mid-'80s after they won those cups. That was pretty special.
All right, Tom. Hey, we'll leave it there. Best to you, your family, and the Devils organization. And thank you so much for joining us. My pleasure, guys. Be safe. Right. Devils interim GM Tom Fitzgerald. Coming up, we're going to compare the championship Knicks of 1970 to the 1990s Bulls. And we'll do that when we come back on the MSG 150 at Home, presented by Chase.